So many divisions, unnecessary divisions. The backbiting, the insults, and all that. One of the advice or the main advice I want to give to the youth is that let's try and unite. Let's try and push for development. Let's try and push for more projects to be done in Lower Manya, and let's put our personal interest in our side. One of the things that I've also realized is that a lot of people have placed their personal interest ahead of that of the party or the constituency interest. So I would like to advise the youth or my colleagues or all comrades that we should all come together and develop Lower Manya first. The personal interest should be put aside.
The youth have called on you. We want to know, are you going for this mantle?
Like, will I be contesting?
Yes, will you be contesting?
Yeah, if you ask me, I won't say no, but as in the when is what I don't want to talk about right now. Yeah.
What are the other things you do for the constituency?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I think the first thing I would be looking at as a businessman is to bring investors. When you look at Lower Manya, God has blessed us. We have, mango, farming here, where a lot of people are into mango farming. I think it wouldn't be bad if we invest into mango farming by bringing maybe a juice or a mango juice factory, to Lower Manya. We also have our own, limestone. I think it wouldn't be bad to bring investors. If you can get a company ready to invest in Lower Manya, you can have a cement factory here. It will employ, our own people, and by doing that, we can solve the unemployment issue in Lower Manya. Investment. So then the last thing I want to talk about is, the rice. When you go to Akuse, or is it a medical Akuse?
Yeah, Akuse, Asutari,
Asutari and America. We have a lot of rice farm there. We can bring factories here. We can bring investors who are willing to invest. And of course, I have a lot of friends who are even willing to start investment in Lower Manya. Some I met them in China. They will be coming down very soon and acquire some land so that we can even start some companies in Lower Manya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Lovely viewers, that time here on Storm City GATV. You know how we do it every weekend. We come to you with news, trending issues from our communities, community-related issues. We come to you all the time. Today we happen to be with a very young man whose ambition is yet to be known to us. People call him the savior. People call him the rescuer. In Lower Manya, people are crying up to him to come and take up the mantle. And I am here with him to have a discussion for us to know what he has for us in Lower Manya. We are going on the break. When we're back, I introduce this young man to you. I'm with this young man who go by the name Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith. I get it right? Yes, Philansmith. This is a gentleman who is here to rescue us, which we are all crying out to. So we are here with him today to have conversation. Welcome to Storm City. So people are asking, who is Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith? Who are you?
Okay, so like you rightly said, my name is Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith, and I'm a pharmacist. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a businessman. I'm a politician, and a philanthropist as well.
Okay. So let's go straight into politics, since that is what the people are crying out to. That's why we are here today, precisely. We want to know what inspired you, being part of the party, NDC party, for a long time. What inspired you this time round to take up this mantle to go as aspiring for an MP?
Okay, thank you so much. So, I started active politics since 2012. Right after SHS completion. Those days we were young. And first of all, I would like to say that growing up, some of us, we grew up into the NDC. Growing up, we realized that our parents, family, loved ones, everybody support the NDC. So that's the first thing. Secondly, growing up, I've also realized that if you are looking, for a party, a political party in Ghana here, that has, giving the youth opportunity to serve, Mother Ghana is the NDC.
Okay.
So, right after, my university or after completion of my pharmacy school, I decided to be active, politics. So, I'm a Krobo, and, growing up here, I've realized that, we have so many challenges. When you look at Lower Manya, as a project, you realize that we have so many issues or problems, within our community. So, after school, I happened to work in Accra for some time. We made some small money. Then we decided to come back to come and help, solve one or two problems. So we started by investing in our community. I've opened a pharmacy in Agomina Market, a very big pharmacy. Then we started helping the people, our people. And, I keep getting calls. I keep getting advice that, given, the opportunity, would you serve the NDC party in Lower Manya? I said, let's keep working, for now, it's too early to declare any intention, but the whole idea is to help develop, to bring innovation to, Lower Manya. You know that when you look at Lower Manya as a whole, there are so many social amenities that we need. And for me, I'm of the view that, given the chance, you should change so many things here. And they have always said that leadership by example. So when you go to my pharmacy in Agoma, you realize that, something new is happening on Kobo land. Yeah.
So you rightly said people are calling. Is it the youth that are calling you more? Because for us, we realize that the youth are the ones that are calling on us all the time. That who is Dr. Emmanuel M, Philansmith? Who is he? We want him to come and rescue us. Is it the youth that you listen to, or the elders of the party?
Yeah, so I can say everyone. When I say everyone, the youth, the elders of the party, all party sympathizers, everybody is calling for me to come and rescue. But then what I want to say is that it's more of the youth, But that's not to say that I'm going to listen to only the youth or my youth. I've also realized that quite some number of the elders are also calling for change or for development. And so I would say that everyone is calling. Family, the township, the constituency, everybody is calling for this new development.
What are some major challenges you've seen in Lower Manya that you think, given the opportunity, you can quickly fix?
When you look at Lower Manya, we have a lot of problems in Lower Manya. We have some that are pressing that we need to look at. I think first of all, I would like to thank the NDC government or President Mahama for prioritizing Lower Manya. When you look at what is happening right now, you realize that the whole town, the whole Lower Manya constituency has been turned to a construction site. From Somanya to Pong, you realize that there is a major construction of road from Somanya to Pong. I think one of our major concerns or issues has to do with our road network. We don't really have a good road network here. When you look at, I want to set an example. When you look at our nursing training school, we have only one nursing training school, I think on the Kobo block here. And one would have thought that, that's our only nursing training school. So what can we do to even develop the place? When you drive all the way from the Odumansi station to our nursing training, the road is not that bad. But for me personally, I think that we can do better. We can tar the road, and by doing that, it's going to bring more investors, to Lower Manya. And one time I was talking to a friend, I was telling them that, look, if we are able to develop our nursing training school, more people will migrate to that place. more apartments will come up.
Mm.
People will come here, people will bring their students or their children here to come and, attend our nursing training. And by doing that, we are bringing more investment because our station, for instance, I can tell you that if you are able to develop our nursing training school, you realize that more people will even move to the station and even be selling there because it's going to be a major one where people from outside Lower Manya will come and then settle before they even go to the school. So that we have so many pressing issues, but these are some of the things that, given the opportunity, I will look at. The second thing has to do with unemployment. The last time I was reading a documentary and I realized that when you are looking at the constituencies in Ghana here, that have higher unemployment rate, I think Lower Manya is part. And so by doing or by solving that problem, I have personally opened a pharmacy, a very big pharmacy in the Agomenya market. And I'm not too sure of the number, but I'm very sure my workers are up to 12 there.
Okay.
Now when you come to the Dumasi station, I also intend opening a 24-hour pharmacy there.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? I want people to be employed.
Yes.
For somebody who thinks that, Lower Manya, there are a lot of people who are, unemployed. I think the small way I can start solving the problem is to make sure I establish, some of these companies or these pharmacies in Lower Manya here.
So we want to know, like, right from your conversation, we realize that you are a private investor.
Okay.
Looking at that, do you have partners that can come in and invest into the constituency, given the opportunity?
Yes. So for now, for my company, Tranquil Pharmacy, we are not too open for any investment now because anything we are doing now, I'm the one pre-finance, so I'm the sole investor. But we are looking at other projects. We are looking at tourism. We are looking at other investment where we invite people to come and invest here. In fact, when I traveled to China, it was one of the things, one of the reasons why I traveled to China, to look out for investors or to look out for NGOs who are ready to come and invest or to come and help the constituency. And so with other things, we are open for private investors who would like to collaborate with some of my initiatives, to make Oboland better.
Talking in your conversation, you said that one of the challenges you have also realized is the road. The youth of a part of Lower Manya, which is Akuse, have been one of their biggest challenge is the road network in Akuse, who have been deprived state for a very, very long time. We heard there have been shortcutting. Should it be that it happens, fine, but what the youth want to hear from you, that's what they're advocating for you.
Okay.
That what will be your approach to Akuse Road?
Yeah, so now it is important to establish the fact that, you see, when you are not in government, you might think that everything is so easy. And I respect my leaders so much, so I don't really want to go deeper into the Akuse Road. But then you recall that there was a time where I was trying to organize communal labor, so that we can go and put the road into good shape, because at that point the road was so bad that people were complaining and all that. But then I was also told that our leaders are in talk with government, and then they are making sure that Akuse Road is being fixed. Recently, I'm being told that a sword has been cut on a cut sword for the construction of the road. I'm hoping that the road will be completed, or the construction process will be completed as soon as possible. But then for now, I want to reserve my comments. I believe that when I'm given the mantle, I'll work things. Leadership is about lobbying. Trying to communicate the problem of your constituency, with the national, leadership, so that they know the realities, on the ground. If you are not able to lobby, then I'm sorry to say that the people you will not be able to please your constituents.
One of the comments we keep saying on social media is that people think you are too young for this role. What do you also think? Politics, is it about age? What do you think of people saying that?
So I would like, before I even comment on that, I would like to extend my greetings to Honorable Edemagbena.
Yeah.
I want to extend my greetings to our own Honorable Okujetu Abrakwa. I want to also extend my greetings to our own Honorable Sami Jemfi, our Honorable Sam George. These are young people who went to Parliament when they are, where they were very young. And the two of us, you agree with me that they are performing so well.
Yeah.
When you look out for MPs who are doing so well in Parliament now, they happen to be these young ones. So personally, I believe nobody is too young, to lead. Once you are, you have the capacity to listen, the capacity to like help the community, I think you can go for it. Personally, I've heard that, but I don't believe I'm so young. Maybe age-wise, they are thinking that I'm not there. But leadership is not about age. Once you have the competence, once you have the capacity, to do the work, I think you have to be given the opportunity, to help your community.
One comment I also read on social media is that somebody said we should ask Doctor if he can mention 3 projects he has done in the constituency aside where he resides. Can you tell us projects you've done, even though you were not the frontier of the party in the constituency? Can you give us some projects you've done, which you don't even want to blow your whistle, but for the sake of this question?
Okay, so I'll mention 3 things that I've done here, which I think it has helped my community so well. I said earlier that I've opened a pharmacy, in Agomenya market. In fact, setting up a pharmacy is not an easy thing. Or if it was easy, everybody would have opened, a pharmacy. So I think I'm opening a second branch in the Odumansi station, or opposite the Odumansi station. So that's the first thing I've done. I've tried to employ, some people within the constituency. And so if we are to ask, or if you are to ask me, what have I done to solve unemployment in the constituency, I'll tell you that first of all, I've opened a pharmacy, I've employed some few people and all that. The second branch will also, employ people. Now, when you go to all our police stations, you realize that there is a first aid box, fixed there. It was my initiative. When you go to all the police stations in Lower Manya, I was the first person, to start that project in the whole of Ghana. Wow. Nobody have done that before. Wow. So when you go to College Home, I think we started from Akuse.
Okay.
Then we came to Pong. Then we came to Nuaso. We've done some at College Home here. Even Nima police station is not part of my agency, but then we've done something that when you go to Nima police station, we fix first aid box for them. Then I also like to talk about health screening exercises that I've conducted or I've organized within the constituency. Initially I started with the pensioners. The pensioners, they have an association, and with time, I think every month. It was recently that I have not visited them, but somewhere last year we were meeting them on every first Thursday in the month. We organize health screening for them. We sometimes we bring doctors to come and diagnose them. There are conditions that is beyond the health screening setting. We give them referral to go to the hospital. And then when we started, I think anytime we meet them or anytime we organize free health screening in Lower Manya here, one of the things that we do is that we deworm everyone. I think there was a time where we had almost 500 people who came to be screened, and then we gave all of them, dewormer, free dewormer. Not only dewormers, multivitamins, painkillers, those ones that, are not highly prescriptive. We give it to them. for free. So these are, I've done so many things in the community or in my community, but then these are some of the things I would like us, to talk about.
So one other thing that we want to know about you is looking at the problems you have identified, and you rightly said there are some 3 key things, or there are some challenges that you needed to address as quickly as possible. One of the things we are asking is, you are doing all these projects around your area where you reside, mostly. So we are saying that, can't we see certain projects that you can do in other parts of the constituency, so that the youth can see that, yes, even though he was not given the mantle, this is what he is doing for us.
Okay, so thank you for that. I think one thing I would like to establish is that, if you don't have power, some of the things you are limited. You cannot do more. As I speak to you, there are so many things I would like to do, but then believe you me, if I want to start, I have to go to our council or our municipal assembly. I have to write to them. I have to seek their approval before I start doing anything. So, well, it's good that maybe I want to help and all that, but then you and I know that some of the things it requires money and all that. Some of the things is beyond my capacity. But there is one thing that I would like to boast of. Beginning last year, when we were installing the first aid boxes to the police stations, we went to Akusi prisons. One of the challenges, or one of their main challenges, has to do with a clinic.
Okay.
They allowed me to enter there, and I saw how they dispense medicines to the prisoners. As a pharmacist, I wasn't really happy. They have limited resources, and some of the things, we will be able to talk about, but before you even take a step, you have to write to the necessary authorities. So I engaged them, we had a conversation. They told me that they have a land for a clinic. I went to, view the site, and I told them that, given the opportunity or the mandate, maybe in future, I would, help them to, set up a clinic, a mini clinic for the prisoner. So there are other things we are doing, in other areas, but like I said, before you take a step, you have to talk to the necessary, authorities before you start.
People say that even though forms has not been picked, it's as if already there is friction between you and then the incumbent. How true is that?
For me, what I would like to say is that it's not entirely true. He's my senior man. He's my senior comrade, and currently he is the MP for Lower Manya. He is the deputy interior minister too, for my government. So one of the things we need to do is to help him succeed. One of the things we need to do is to find ways we can support him, so that at the end of the day, Lower Manya, will develop. But that said, that doesn't mean that when he's doing something wrong, we can't criticize him. We also, have to make sure that he's doing the right thing. Because, you see, what we are all doing is to make sure the party is very attractive in Lower Manya. One of the things, for me, is a personal project for me. For me, I've been saying that, giving the opportunity or the chance, I'll make sure that we move, other people from, other party to, the NDC party. And we are looking out for ways to make the party very, very attractive. So if you have, a deputy interior minister, if you have an MP that you want him to succeed, one of the best things that we can do for him, as youth, is to make sure that we criticize him constructively, so that Lower Manya will develop. Yeah. So in doing that, people might think that we have issues, but trust me, we have a very good relationship. There is no friction between them.
So the youth out there, or those of us out there who think there are friction between them, he clearly stated it that they are very, very fine. This is the community I show here on Stone City JTV. We are still with Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith. We are having conversation with him. Let's go on a break. When we're back, we finalize.
Welcome back from the break. It's still the community I show here on Storm City TV. We are still with Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith, the savior they call him. People call him the rescuer for Lower Manya. We want to ask him this question. The youth have called on you. We want to know, are you going for this mantle?
Like, will I be contesting?
Yes, will you be contesting?
Yeah, if you ask me, I won't say no, but I think the when is what I don't want to talk about right now, because there is time for everything. I think it's too early for us to be talking about, who should contest, the incumbent MP, or who should not contest. But one thing I'm sure of is that, I have ambitions,
okay,
to contest, for ambition. But when we get there, we'll start talking about it.
If given the opportunity, which you don't want to even admit if you will be going or not, but if eventually you make up your mind, what are the other things you do for the constituency?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I think the first thing I would be looking at as a businessman is to bring investors. When you look at Lower Manya, God has blessed us. We have, mango, farming here, where a lot of people are into mango farming. I think it wouldn't be bad if we invest into mango farming by bringing maybe a juice or a mango juice factory, to Lower Manya. We also have our own, limestone. I think it wouldn't be bad to bring investors. If you can get a company ready to invest in Lower Manya, you can have a cement factory here. It will employ, our own people, and by doing that, we can solve the, the unemployment issue in Lower Manya. So it's investment. Then the last thing I want to talk about is, the rice. When you go to Akuse, or is it a medical Akuse?
Yeah, Akuse, Asutari,
Asutari and America. We have a lot of rice farm there. We can bring factories here. We can bring investors who are willing to transform our rice to maybe a perfume one, for consumption. So I'm looking at investment. I'm a business person. So given the opportunity, these are some of the things I'll make sure Lower Manya will enjoy. Bring investors. Recently when I traveled to China, it's all about investment. I went to China to even talk about our village. When you go to our villages, a lot of them, they've not even seen lights in their naked eye before. Some of them, they have the light connection, but then they don't have street lights.
Yeah.
When you go there, you realize that even our kids or our brothers who are even schooling there, they find it difficult to even learn at night. So I had engagement with, or I engaged some of these solar system companies, and then they assured us that they will be starting some pilot projects in Ghana very soon. And so I lobbied for some of their projects to come to come to Lower Manya so that we can also benefit from that. So like I said, investment. And of course I have a lot of friends who are even willing to start investment in Lower Manya. Some I met them in China. They'll be coming down very soon and acquire some land so that we can even start some companies in Lower Manya.
All right. So viewers, this is Dr. Emmanuel M. Philansmith. He has told us a lot. Let's hope and pray that he makes up his mind to take up this mantle. And when he takes up this mantle, all these plans he's telling us will materialize. What will be your last word for the people out there who are looking up to, who are calling on you? They are calling on you to come and rescue them. What is your final word?
Yes, so first of all, I would like to thank everyone in Lower Manya my loved ones, my family, and of course my enemies too. I would like to thank them
Yeah.
for
Pray for your enemies too.
yeah, you have to pray for your enemies too,
Yeah.
for the support, the kind of support, for even believing in me.
Yeah.
Not everyone believes in me,
Yeah.
but for believing in me as young as I am, with my ambitions, I would like to say a big thank you to them. But there is one advice I would like to give to them. We've been talking about unemployment in Lower Manya, not only in Lower Manya, the whole Ghana. But I can tell you for a fact that there are people, I have a construction company in Accra. There are people, I came down here, pick them, send them to Accra. And trust me, they even left without informing me. So in as much as, some of us, we want to help our colleagues, or we want to make sure that there is more job opportunity, in Lower Manya. One of the things I would like to stress on is their commitment and dedication. There are people, they will be complaining that they want job. The moment you give them the opportunity, they mess everything up. And so there are people that you even want to help, and you tell them to go and bring their certificate. Some of them, they want to even further their education. They bring their result, and you realize that it's so bad, and they are not even ready to even write remedial. So one of the things I would like to stress on, or two things that I would like to stress on, is their commitment and dedication. Sometimes they get the opportunity and they are not able to work to their full potential. And so I would like to advise them to take their work serious. When they get the opportunity, they should put all their effort in them to make sure that whatever they are doing becomes prosperous. Yeah.
Whatever we are doing, let's do it with commitment and let's be innovative. He is a young guy. He didn't sit after school. He decided to have his own business running. This is the advice he has for you. We, the youth, we should be very committed. When somebody opens up a job, it comes for you. When you go out, let us work as if it is ours. Of late, we've seen there's a growing tension in the NDC party here in Lower Manya.
Okay.
You being part of the party, serving the party for so long, what advice do you have for the party people here?
Okay, so my first advice, will be directed to the youth, especially in the NDC party here. One of the things I've realized is that we have so many factions, in Lower Manya here, and secondly, to add to that, I want to say that there are so many divisions, unnecessary divisions. The backbiting, the insults, and all that. One of the advice, or the main advice I want to give to the youth is that let's try and unite. Let's try and push for development. Let's try and push for more projects to be done in Lower Manya, and let's put our personal interest in one side. One of the things that I've also realized is that a lot of people have placed their personal interest ahead of that of the party or the constituency interest. So I would like to advise the youth or my colleagues or all comrades that we should all come together and develop Lower Manya first. The personal interest should be put aside.
Sure.
And when we do that, Lower Manya or NDC in Lower Manya will be very attractive to everyone. Yeah.
So we want to make the party attractive here in Lower Manya. Mahama is doing so much to bring Ghana back to its feet. He said we are resetting. So let us stick to this agenda. Those of you who are causing divisions in the NDC party, this is the advice he has for you. This is Time with Dr. Emmanuel M, the Philansmith. We will come back to him again, surely when he makes up his mind to hear our call to lead us to the promised land here in Lower Manya constituency. This is Storm City GATV, and this is the Community Eye Show. We shall be back again on your screen. Bye-bye.